Hey YouTube, welcome back just to a brand new video. Today I'm doing something a little bit different to my normal sort of DVD Blu-ray update. I'm actually going to do my entire collection, so I'm going to sort of show off everything that I've got, or at least all my Blu-rays anyway. I did have sort of a request for this, I think probably a month or two ago from a YouTuber, and sort of finally getting around to it. So I thought I'd better, because I think it's been a while since I've actually sort of done one. I did do one a very long time ago, and my collection sort of expanded a lot since then. I've also bought, as you can probably see at the back, I've also bought a brand new TV as well. It's a Panasonic Plasma 50-inch, which I'm very sort of pleased to get, because it's actually a lot better picture quality than the one I had before. I had like a Philips, I think it was a 42-inch or something, which I think is about probably 3 or 4 years old, and I think that's what's wrong with that one. It was sort of starting to get a bit sort of, the picture quality wasn't necessarily that great. And there were a few sort of lines going through the screen. So I got a brand new one. It was a really great deal. I actually heard that Panasonic are actually going to sort of stop making plasma TVs. So I have sort of heard that plasmas are sort of the best ones to get in terms of, you know, to sort of watch your movies on, because they sort of do show deeper blacks. Anyway, so we'll get into it. I won't make the video too long. Yeah, so we'll get into it. This will probably be just sort of part one. I reckon it'll be probably 3 parts all up, I think I've worked out, but we'll sort of see how we go. I haven't necessarily got a huge collection. I have only sort of probably seriously been collecting probably since I sort of started my YouTube channel a few years ago, so I don't necessarily have a huge amount, but I do probably have quite a big collection, I guess, in some ways. Anyway, so we'll get into it before I start to ramble on too much. Now, they're not necessarily in any order. I have sort of tried to put them in genre, but that doesn't really work, because you sort of get sort of films that are a bit mixed genre, so it's a bit hard to sort of class them. I probably should really go back to what most people do and sort of do it in alphabetical order, but anyway, so they're a bit of a mess at the moment, but anyway, so we'll get into it. First one we got is Batman Begins, probably my sort of favourite of the Batman trilogy. Of the Nolan trilogy. The Dark Knight, which is you know, a film that no one ever talks about. Joke. Then I got The Dark Knight Rises. Then we've got The Avengers. I've got the Marvel Collection, which has got, I think, what's on that one? X-Men First Class, X-Men Origins Wolverine, Daredevil, Elektra, Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer. I got the Superman reboot with Andrew Garfield. The Hulk with who was in that one? Edward Norton and Liv Tyler. I got Thor, the first Iron Man movie, which I thought was actually pretty good. Daredevil, which a lot of people give it sort of flack for being a particularly great movie. The Punisher, which I think is actually a really good comic book movie. I think this is a really good movie, actually, a bit underrated, I think. I've got the first Transformers movie, second Transformers movie. I don't have the third one yet, though. I should track that down, because I'm a bit of a completist. The G.I. Joe movie, which I thought was alright. The 18, which just people don't reckon is not that great, but I thought it wasn't too bad. There's some really great action scenes in that one, actually. V for Vendetta, probably one of my favourite films of all time, I think that one. Sin City. One called The Spirit, which I think in some ways is a bit of a kind of a sequel, or it's done the same way as sort of Sin City. I don't think it's necessarily a direct sequel though. Sucker Punch, which has got some really great visuals to it, and interesting sort of storyline to it. Kick-Ass, with a nice sort of comic book cover. Super, which I didn't think was, yeah, I didn't particularly like it all that much. Reservoir Dogs. Jackie Brown. Kill Bill. Kill Bill 2. Django Unchained. Ghost Rider. The first Hellboy movie, second Hellboy movie, Pulp Fiction, what's that one? Death Proof, Planet Terror, Machete, first Conan movie, second Conan movie with Arnie Schwarzenegger, the reboot movie, which wasn't that great. I think the opening sequence is pretty fantastic, but the rest of the movie is pretty shit. Prometheus, first Predator movie with Arnie again, Predator 2, The Predators, which wasn't too bad I thought, Alien vs Predator and Alien vs Predator Requiem. I actually don't mind the first movie. I think the first movie is actually pretty good, I think. Second one's not all that great though. First Terminator movie, Terminator 2, Terminator Salvations, Total Recall the reboot, Dread 3D, which is I actually sort of watched the second time the other day and sort of liked it a little bit more. I actually watched this one in 3D actually, really good visuals actually in 3D. Star Trek movie, Men in Black 1, Men in Black 2, Men in Black 3, Blade Runner the 5-disc set, another version of Blade Runner the 5-disc set. This one's a bit thicker than compared to the other one. I've got sort of two versions of that. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Starship Troopers trilogy, some odd sort of sci-fi movie called The Interceptor, Sanctum, which is a really great Australian movie I think, actually really good movie that one I think. Inception, which I think's a bit overrated in my opinion. Next one is The Adjustment Bureau, which is actually not a bad movie. I was actually quite surprised at how good this was actually. I thought it was going to be fairly crap. It was actually pretty good. 2001, 2010, Planet of the Apes from a few years ago, which was actually really good. It was actually probably one of my favourite films. Is it 2012 I think it was? Or 2011? Anyway, one of my favourite films of that year. Clash of the Titans, Clash of the Titans 3D, got two copies of that. King Kong, iRobot, Artificial Intelligence, Moon, 12 Monkeys, a really great movie that one, Brazil, both Tarantino films, David Cronenberg's Videodrome, which is a very interesting movie to watch, Hybrid 3D, Battleship, which is I think it's not a bad movie. A lot of people seem to hate it, but I thought it was a sort of a fun, cheesy watch. Stealth, good movie that one. I Am Number 4. Attack the Block, which I thought was, yeah, alright I suppose. Wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. A few Arnie Schwarzenegger movies. Raw Deal. Red Heat. The Sixth Day. Double of Eraser and Collateral Damage. Arnold Schwarzenegger again. American History X and Falling Down with Michael Douglas. End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Back over here again. Yeah, Last Action Hero. Tango and Cash. Lock Up, which I think is actually is a really good movie. This one actually, just a sort of fun, you know, sort of action flick, prison action movie. Under Siege, Steven Seagal, Under Siege 2, Spy Game, which I think is actually a pretty good movie. The Green Zone with Matt Damon, one of my favourite actors. It's actually a good movie as well, actually, that one. The Game with Michael Douglas again. Trainspotting, Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch, Rock and Roller, Goodfellas, which is a good movie. I think I do prefer Casino over this one though, to be honest. Long Good Friday, which is not a bad movie actually. It's one of the, not a bad sort of underrated gangster sort of flick, that one. a sort of British gangster type movie. American Gangster. Donnie Brasco, which is actually not a bad movie, it's actually a good one as well, actually. Good sort of mob style movie, a bit underrated, I think. Gangs of New York, which I've never actually sort of seen before. LA Confidential. The Departed, which everyone seems to like, and I think it's a pretty awful movie. Badly edited and, yeah, not that great. Bad Lieutenant, Call of New Orleans, which is actually not a bad movie. This one actually it's a good movie, worth a watch that one. Training Day, good movie that one. Haven't seen it for years though. Law Abiding Citizen. The Town, directed by Ben Affleck. That's a really good movie. Point of No Return with Bridget Fonda, sort of the American remake of Nikita, by Luc Besson, which I talked about in my last video, or the video the other day. The Brave One, which is actually not a bad movie with Jodie Foster in it. Ninja Assassin, which I've never actually sort of seen before, but I've heard it's good. Red Belt, which is a sort of a martial arts film, but there's not all that much martial arts to it. But it's more sort of maybe the sort of theory behind martial arts in some ways. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to explain, I suppose, but that's a good movie, that one. Definitely worth checking out. End of the Dragon, which is scratched. I was pretty annoyed, but I did sort of buy another copy of it, a lot better copy of it. Great movie though, as well. A few James Bond movies, from Russia with Love, Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace. I do have Skyfall, but that's still coming. I have ordered that the other day. That's coming through the post. What's next? American Psycho, great movie, probably one of my favourite films as well. Here, that one, really good. Good Will Hunting. Drive, which gets a sort of mixed reviews, but I actually thought it was really good. Actually, probably a few of my favourite films here, actually. $1 Million Baby, directed by Clint Eastwood, fantastic film. American Beauty, another one of my favourite films. Blow, another one of my favourite films. Blues Brothers again, one of my favourite films as well. Again, The Bourne Identity, The Bourne Supremacy, The Bourne Ultimatum, lost slip covers, and finally The Bourne Legacy, which I'm a big fan of that sort of franchise. Got movies. Beverly Hills Cop 1, Beverly Hills Cop 2, that's 3. Beverly Hills 2, they're around the wrong way there once. Lethal Weapon 1, Lethal Weapon 2, Lethal Weapon 3, Lethal Weapon 4, I'm guessing, yeah. Speed, great action film from the 90s. Taken, another great sort of action movie with Liam Neeson, however you say his name. Another Liam Neeson film, Unknown, which I've never actually sort of seen that one actually yet. A Stranger, which is a bit of a, you know, just wasn't too bad at all actually. But, Lockdown, which I've never sort of seen before. Point Break, great movie. October, another great movie. Born the 4th of July. Really movie that actually. I was actually, yeah, great movie that one. Tom Cruise, definitely underrated. More Tom Cruise. A Few Good Men. Valkyrie. What's that one? Risky Business. Haven't seen for quite a while. The Last Samurai. What's that one? Yeah, Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol. Midnight Express, another great movie. The Wrestler, great movie. Zodiac. Ghost. Two copies of what was it called again? The Social Network. It's like slightly different sort of versions, slightly different sort of covers to them. Shame, which I think is actually a really great film, definitely worth watching that one. Black Swan, which I had sort of didn't like all that much, to be honest. Contagion, triple feature of Outbreak, Poseidon Adventure, and Perfect Storm. Okay. Green Mile, The Hunter, Wrecked, which is a great movie, River Runs Fluid with, what's his name, Brad Pitt, The Pianist, which I've never seen before, Perfect Blue, which is in some ways, I've heard it's a bit of a sort of sequel, in some ways, to the movie Crash, Phone Booth, Wall Street, Michael Douglas again, Any Given Sunday, Living in Las Vegas with Nicolas Cage, a really good movie, that one, a bit depressing, but it's a good movie, Curse of Benjamin Buttons, Hereafter with Matt Damon, which wasn't too bad, I thought, actually. It doesn't get sort of negative reviews, but I thought it was a good movie. Through 3D movies, Hansel and Gretel. I'll pick up the last couple. So on. The Immortals. The Hobbit 3D. And finally the Three Musketeers 3D. So that's probably sort of part one. The rest are all in a different sort of section, so I'll have to sort of pull them out and so I'll show them in the next video. Yeah, so that's my video. Sort of part one. Hope you enjoyed that. There's some good titles there, I think. Yeah, so that's the end of part one. So I'll see you very soon in part two. Bye.